It's almost like we are of the same mind.
That's not a bad spot to enter on mid-mic sentence.
Dun, dun, dun.
I was stretching it out, seeing as how I could help you out here.
Well, thank you for that assistance, Michael. But now it's time to do the introduction. We are That D&D Podcast. My name's Andrew Otway, and I'm supposed to say hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Tonight we'll be bringing you another session of us playing... I almost said Roll20 Presents because I've been watching some Roll20 stuff, but that's not true. It's That D&D Podcast. No, I haven't...
Can we just steal their brand? We're just going to be like, yeah, no, this is Roll20 Presents now.
If we
can watch our stuff.
If we try hard enough.
They may have... It's not words that I'm afraid of. They may have lawyers.
Yeah, and those lawyers have words.
Right.
And those words hurt.
And some of them are Latin, and I didn't take Latin in high school because it was elective. But we're here to play Burning Wheel in the D&D universe that Mike constructed, because why not nest our nerdery 2 layers deep? But at this point, I will stop talking and let the rest of the cast introduce themselves and take it away, Adam.
Hi, my name is Adam. I will be playing Magnus Luciano today, he of magnanimous gestures towards friends that then are squandered abruptly. So yes, beliefs. First belief, non-citizen-owned businesses are to be used. I'll exploit them for monetary gain. Second, now that the guild has been restored, I will ensure its security, which we'll have fun with today. Wealth must be recognized by the nobles. I will open negotiations with them. If we ever get to that party, we'll see. Instincts. I never pay full price for anything. I refuse to lie to make a deal. I think I was going to adjust my last one, but for now, it's still I'm writing memoirs.
It was going to be something about finding a new hobby.
Yeah, the pig farming or something.
Can I suggest murder?
It was bees, because then you're like going to drown people in honeycomb.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense. Traits.
A honeycomb monster.
It's honeycomb's big, Mike.
Honeycomb. We want honeycomb.
There's no reason why my hives are human shaped.
That's going right into my grimoire of elder shit to pull out for the next game I run.
They open like the was it the maidens, Iron Maidens, right?
Yeah.
And they close.
It just makes it easier to get to the honeycombs.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. Traits: inscrutable, distracted, self-satisfied, prideful, traditionalist, violent. So you had to throw that one in there, and affinity for business. And that is me.
Michael.
Next.
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering if I was next. And it's not that I'm stalling for time. I'm certainly not adding more names to my list of names. Hi, I'm Mike Jadar Brody. You might know me from other games. I play here a lot on Tuesdays because Burning Wheel. And what was the thing that other happens? Oh, then come see us on Thursdays as well for the Zach of villains, or not villains, criminals, and the whatever. We'll talk about that later. But I am playing tonight Lady Margareta Agnesia Luca Pasqualina Bianca Florentia Marte di Fabri. She is a prince's disfavored daughter from the next county over, and she is trying to stab / scare / spy her way back into his favor, and is learning all the time that, for example, murder does not get you everything. She currently has her beliefs. Fear is an effective mechanism of control. We will make it a name. We'll make her name for ourselves through escalation. Using the corpse of Thomas Cartswalp, I will buy my way into the usurper's corpse. C-O-U-R-T.
It's a Freudian slip, that one.
Yeah. All changes root in chaos, and I will sow discord by turning the usurper's own rules and traditions against them. / something about murder.
/ murder.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, right? Just / murder.
Yeah. I mean, you got a pseudo murder.
It's 10 murder, 20 go to 10.
Kill -9. So her instincts are: will prize secrets from every lip, never let someone get too close, and always be network building. Her traits are your lordship, because Lady Margareta is noble. prideful, traditionalist, and violent, as are everyone who calls this region their home. She is cold-hearted, darling of the court, with a mark of privilege and an aura of innocence. Her friends include Timothy Cartswallop, the brother of a person who died recently.
Who became deaded.
Who became dead by their own hand, I must insist.
Mike or Zach, do you like the passive voice just creeping in there? This person became dead.
No. Turns
With
out
a
Margaret
face-
is a cop.
That innocent.
Well, I mean,
Can't believe it. I have to believe
never
her.
Suspect me. And Breach, a little sharpshooter and cannonsmith, who is the head enforcer, or the name of the enforcer squad that Margareta nominally points into the direction of
Right now,
Shooting people's knees off.
strong arming, but there's been some murder there as well.
right now, I imagine they follow you because you're very scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're waiting for you to straight Omar somebody else so they can loot the place. That's just where we're going.
And also they follow you because they're staying in the house that you own.
Right. There's very much. It's not that I see Davos in this, but if you haven't seen Iron Fist season 2, you won't get that yet. But yeah, have fun.
I'm like 6 episodes in. It's better than season 1.
I have not seen it yet, but that does not surprise me at all.
I
Say those
I
words.
straight up watched the last 3 episodes back to back, and it was like 3 a.m. It was gross, and I had work in like 4 hours, but I couldn't turn it off. So
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Full stop. And not watching it like it plays when I'm playing Destiny 2 now, and I'm not turning it off. So
Destiny, the podcast player.
right, yeah, because I mean you just click on heads, and sometimes you need additional oral distraction for that. So
I had Imager spoil me on Forsaken, and now I'm sad.
Really?
is it
Yeah,
that
is
is
it the
sad.
thing that they've been talking about widely?
I know nothing of it, of
Okay.
anything about any of it,
Okay.
except that there was a picture Imager, and then somebody had a caption. I was like, well, that's sad.
Okay. Yeah, no, the like main plot beat of Forsaken was like not even marketing material. Like it was a core feature.
Cool.
Um,
I hear it's good.
I'm enjoying it a bunch. I wish I had people to play with, but I also don't want to just guilt people into playing with me, because who the fuck? Like I might fall out of this game tomorrow.
Destiny's a lot that way. Yeah.
But I need to. Well, we should go over beliefs for. No, we went over Margareta's. We should just do Indiso because we stopped mid-introduction. I'm sorry, Zach.
Indiso de
It's fine.
Lovino.
Really the least important character.
I had a dream about Indiso. Not literally. It's a segue into your beliefs. Please continue.
Right, hello, I'm Zach. He and pronouns playing Indiso de Lavino, head of 2 Tusks and the 3rd Tusk Graperies. The larger Grapery consortium that is the 2 Tusks Grapery system. And I have the following beliefs. The old and I definitely didn't like feverishly rewrite these minutes ago. As the game was starting. The old god Pacoon favors this grapery. I will finish construction on the sanctum. I am building a great future for the grapery. I will make an impression on the upper crust of the valley to build our prestige. And then the last one is my dreams have power and will show me the path forward. I will make someone who can do something about it aware of the coming horror. And then my instincts are I will always accept a drink if offered and produce one if none is. I will look for occult signs in all things. And I will always follow my dreams.
I love the double entendre in ask if like the produce a drink if none is offered. Like I love because you literally make drink, but also you just like pull them out of hammer space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My superpower is there's always alcohol on hand.
Yeah, Which, I mean, like, that could be, like, that's functionally what that instinct does.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's, yes, I always have booze on hand, or someone is giving it to me.
There's a liquor store somewhere that's always short on stock, and they have no idea what's happening.
There's just like a line of goats running back and forth.
Well, and, like, your Blades in the Dark mafia name would just be Shrink, because, like...
Retrieval.
Mm-hmm. For my part, I'm not watching Iron Fist. I am instead playing Spider-Man.
I also bought the Spider-Mans. I'm gonna get some pictures of Spider-Man.
I hear Spider-Man's a fucking cop.
Yeah, I'm not super into, although I will say this, yes, Spider-Man works with the cops. He's very tight with the cops in this game. Like, the first time you see cops, they attack you because they're on Fisk's payroll. There's a couple of times in the game where he's like, okay, maybe talking to a cop, like, tell your buddies to stop shooting at me. But yeah, like, you can tell there used to be a game there, or maybe they're like, people were thinking about Spider-Man in like the right way, where he doesn't work with the cops, but he's working with the cops. In fact, there's a running joke of Spider Cop in the game.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Let's point with that. The gameplay, the story being told with the characters, the individual characters themselves, all very good. Spider-Man, like, being an agent of the state, essentially, is not into that at all.
I've also heard that it's... So on the Waypoint Radio podcast, and if you don't listen to Waypoint Radio, you probably should, because they're very, very good people. They talked about how one of the two hosts was like, I love how, like, bright and saccharine this vision of New York is. And then the other host was just like, no, this is the most cynical, like, version of New York I've ever seen, because there's a fucking robbery on every corner.
Well, it definitely does those two things. And Spider-Man has always done this, right? Like there's always a bank robbery, car theft, right alongside, like, apple pie sitting on windowsills. Like, that's always been the Spider-Man in New York, Queens thing, right? But it is like everyone is super, like, there's a button to high five people on the street and it gives you XP.
It's so good.
Like that is amazing. Like, that is so good.
Zach, this version of Spider-Man spends a solid 5 minutes punching people into the sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I do. I do that so much. I punch so many people in the sky.
And that's cool, right? But, like, Spider-Man is an agent of the state beating up criminals. So I think there's a whole episode of this podcast that we railroad talking about this in Iron Fist.
So here's what really got me, right? Like, because it's framed as Spider-Man helping out his friend who works in the police department, right? And I can buy that. Like the one good cop in Gotham City, like the one good cop in New York. Okay, I get it. That's fine. But the one good cop in New York was
minority female.
Minority female, like that character actually exists in the comics. I caught back up on Spider-Man like 2 years ago, and I did Marvel Unlimited. She seems pretty cool. Like, as a character, she seems pretty cool. That she's a cop, not super happy with that. Not super happy with the fact that Spider-Man is helping set up a corporate data gathering network across the city, and the mayor owns it.
The first thing you do. The second thing you do in the game is start repairing Big Brother for New York. And he's like, I'm now seeing the crime that's taking place nearby. Let me go punch the people until I get enough XP.
So J. Jonah Jameson at one point is like, okay, so I warned you about the invasion of civil liberties. Because J. Jonah Jameson is like, basically he's Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones or like whatever you want to use for that person now, right? He's a complete moron that's spouting nonsense about what's going on.
But he's also the civil liberties guy.
Yeah, except for in the same breath, he's like, at least the police are using it to protect people. Like, At one point, at Spider-Man, when you're doing at the point in the game where you're still fighting like street criminals, right? Spider-Man loves to shout out, if you would work hard at a real job, you wouldn't have to resort to crime. I'm like, fucking Pete. Spoilers, you got evicted, Pete, because you couldn't pay your rent. Work hard, Pete. Work fucking hard. Jesus Christ.
All right.
But he's not working hard, Zach.
That's, yes. So when Zach watches Iron Fist season 2, I imagine we can have a discussion about this in more depth, and we can do another like. That was fucking 3 hours, wasn't it? Or was it only like 90
sure
minutes?
was.
God.
No, it was 3 solid hours
Good.
of us ranting.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe
bear
we
in
can
mind, I
reprise
defended
that. Yeah. Well, you defended like the cinematic direction of it,
Yeah.
which is a distinction from the text.
Also, the choice to make Danny Rand a complete dumbass like that, I'm super on board for that.
Oh yeah.
The Meachums.
Anyways, so I went back and I listened to the tape because it had been 2 weeks, and I mean there was a PAX in the way, and some interesting things I was reminded of. Namely, one, I promised Magnus that we could actually just start this episode with him paying for the party.
Yes.
I mean, I had other things that I also wanted to interject with as well, but I can do right to the party too.
I mean, if you have stuff you want to set up with, then absolutely. Just
it was more playing off what kind of ended with the last session
okay.
with random guy walking off ranting.
Yep.
Because apparently I did something to his business, which is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do a circles roll for a corrupt town's guardsman.
Okay.
Because I need to start having the cops in my payroll too.
So the demographics, excuse me, of the local constabulary have shifted lately.
Right, okay.
Mr. Fisk. A bunch of them are functionally mercenaries who are being paid because basically the extant Thundering Valley police force are not enforcing the laws that upper urgent folk would like them to, and they aren't getting results. There's been a bunch of people who haven't paid their taxes. There's been a rise of banditry. So there has been
You're just to say the cops have already been privatized.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's been like a rash of deadly home invasions.
Yeah.
No one's
There's-
quite sure.
Well, not home invasions, but like businesses with broken windows and murdered mercenaries.
That tax collector got killed in his house.
He was on the
Outside
front stoop.
Oh, okay,
Please.
okay.
Stoops are notoriously dangerous.
You really
This guy was
shouldn't.
cleaning his stoop, and
So then the person I want is someone from the mercenary band
Okay.
that doesn't think he's getting paid enough.
Okay.
these mercenaries.
Yeah.
Because I need to set up an informant network inside the mercenaries.
Okay. So you're looking for a redundant mercenary.
That's like a universal trait amongst mercenaries. Like literally, it's on their character sheet.
It's
Like,
mercenary means someone who does shit for money.
but doesn't feel like they're being paid enough. I could always be paid more.
Right.
Always
Okay.
be paid more.
What circle would you have that would apply to this? Because you're all like city
no
life
idea.
paths, right?
Mercenary captain's a city life path.
Yeah.
I mean, I also tried to roll with this guy once, technically. Well, not him,
Right,
but
you
I
failed.
rolled with his squad, yeah, and I failed because he was out of town or some bullshit.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Well, and they're the mercenaries who have been hired.
Right. Yeah, you said you were going to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the approach here? Like, what do we see in fiction?
I don't know. Let's see. What am I? I mean, what I imagine would happen is that someone from this mercenary squad pays a visit based on a complaint, and I bribe them or I basically persuade them to come over to my side instead.
Okay, so are you manufacturing the thing, or is it just like a couple of the toughs? Because I said a couple of toughs came with the lawyer as he was leaving. So I mean, I don't know that you necessarily if you get him as the lawyer dude is storming out. I don't know that you need to circles it, and you'd just be like, yeah, I want to persuade that dude.
Yeah, maybe I could convince one of them
Sure.
that an open line of communication would be very beneficial for him and his 10 starving children or whatever he probably has sit somewhere at home.
I got 9 mouths to feed.
You assume they're at home.
One of my favorite
Homes.
one of my favorite gags in a Kickstarter was the Death Road to Canada Kickstarter, because every time they referred to one of the developers on like this 5 to 10 person team, it was always like, and Dave with his 3 kids, and then the next time in text, possibly in the same email, they referred to Dave, it was like, and his 4 kids, and they just kept iterating throughout the entire like 70 update thing. They just kept a running tally of how many kids Dave had.
And just incremented the counter.
It was very
Dave
good.
plus plus.
Yeah. So I mean that sounds like persuade or similar.
Yeah.
It's a shame you don't have bribery wise.
Yeah, I'm just gonna persuade him nicely
Okay.
instead of.
Can I help?
Are you there?
No.
Okay. That was easy.
But I'm thinking of you.
Are you there, Mike? It's me.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
God.
We are very good at getting off track tonight.
So good.
Okay.
This is the problem when we take some time off. We all be weird at each other for so long.
Yeah. So you're throwing persuasion at this mercenary. If you succeed, you start a relationship and start getting some intel, and then we go from there. Okay. Yeah, I don't imagine it's especially difficult. I think there might be some additional difficulty because functionally one of her friends, or at least coworkers, was just murdered, and at least the person paying her seems to think you have a hand in that somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be like Ob 5.
Oof, okay. I think so. Yeah, we're using persuasion to start off here, because even when I'm nicely persuading someone, I still gotta haggle them because I refuse to pay full price for an informant. Even apparently. Oh,
That's a great phrase, by the way.
jeez. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to figure out how far I'm going to stretch these skills. I mean, this is partly setting up a network, so I'd say administration might come into play. I don't know about that one.
Maybe after you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be to manage it. I mean, yeah, that's probably just to manage it. That feels like a
Okay.
stretch. What
That's
else you
fine.
got?
I mean, this is. Jeez, I don't know if I can get merchant wise since I'm dealing. I am a merchant and I am being
No, she's
businessy. Yeah.
not.
Shit, this is just gonna go bad. Yeah, I don't really have anything.
Okay. So you've got persuasion, forking, and haggling. You've got some persona.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So let's see what I'm at a 6 versus 5, which right now is going to go terribly.
It's not necessarily terribly, and it is challenging, I want to say. 6 dice.
No.
Ob 7, it's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Because challenging is always more dice than you have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hell, why don't we start off with a bad roll? So
Sure.
we'll just do the one modifier. Oh, you said suspending Artha doesn't
It doesn't.
take it out of difficult. Yeah, it doesn't take it out of the.
Right.
Okay. Sure, we'll throw a Persona at it too, just to get any extra dice. Because why not? So we have one modifier, one Artha. Base obstacle is 5, not 6, 5. Yes.
I mean, technically it's 3 with 2 modifier, but wow.
Yeah.
Got there.
Got there all right.
You can spend some fate to reroll that 6 if you want.
No, I think we're good here.
Yeah. So what do you say? Because she's like about to turn and leave, and you catch her attention somehow.
Yeah, I think it's basically going to be, I understand that this event has been hard on everyone. Things are very precarious in town, and I know that a little bit of extra coin in your pocket would always make sure that your home is stable, as well as ensuring that you're gainfully employed. I kind of lost my train of thought with this one. Basically insinuating that the more information she provides, yes. So yeah, if you keep me in your thoughts with whatever's going on in your current employer, I'll be sure that you and anyone that you might want to bring into this pyramid scheme of informants would be well paid.
Multi-level mercenaries.
Yes, I'm trying to set up an MLM for an informant network. So if she brings in people, she'll get dividends on what they bring in for the
When they get 2 people, and then right.
Yes.
They get 2 people.
I'm setting up the Amway, or what were those leggings, whatever those are.
Yeah, she eyes you up and down. Just, I think, didn't like him too much anyways. He was a bit of a pain in the ass, that Raph. Looks you in the eyes. She's... Yeah, I'll take that, and points at just something in your store, like a pricey object of some kind. Maybe like a cask of wine, but I'm imagining something a little more practical.
It could be like, just a nice dagger or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have nice cutlery.
I think, or maybe it's like a pack or something, right?
Sure. I'll give her the second best one.
Right.
Gotta work up to it.
Yeah.
You always leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
And she's... I mean, never hurts to be neighborly with someone who's so neighborly.
I look forward to our continued business.
I look forward to being paid. And just extends a hand.
I will certainly shake. And do you give cash? Do you tip your informants?
Functionally, you're giving her cash in the form of the bag.
Okay, that's fine.
You tip the good ones.
Yes.
Also, they should be tipping you.
Thank you.
This one got a 5-star on Uber.
Cool. So I'm gonna have to burn up that character. Thanks for that.
Give you something to do.
Yeah, I'm teasing you.
Can I say?
What's up, Zach?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with like a gig economy pun.
Oh, okay.
I'm failing.
That's fine.
Failing hard.
It's hard to scale those.
But yes, we can now move on to the gala.
Okay.
Or the
Uber
hunting.
Beats. Uber Beats. We got there.
It was a bit of a lift.
Jesus.
I liked that one.
Yeah, so there's a party.
There's a party.
Let's determine the level of fancitude that this party is.
Okay.
How fancy are you envisioning? You've been preparing for this thing for a few months. You're not breaking the bank on it, but you did get a bunch more people to say that they're coming than expected.
Yes.
But you were able to juggle things around such that you basically negate that additional cost.
Yes.
I should look at the resources table because I expect this to be expensive. And then, I mean, maybe tell me like roughly how fancy you think this is, but it's
Well, I imagine this is so the primary, at least for what I'm doing, the primary thing is going to be a hunt.
okay.
So
yes.
I imagine some sort of large tent, like outdoor tent,
Mhm.
with a catered meal beforehand. There's probably gonna be some of the new firearms that would be to be blessed.
Yep.
We already secured the what was the gunpowder we called it?
It was like gunpowder and incense, basically.
Yeah,
It was sacramental gunpowder.
sacramental gunpowder. Yeah, and then there'll probably be some sort of gifts. I don't know what you give nobles.
Well, like, I mean, fancy shit that suits them.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's going on is it's also Wood Sorrow's Eve.
That, yeah.
But, like, people got to eat. So, and if you want to impress nobles by giving them like bespoke, artisanal honeycombs filled with like various flavors of honey, right? Like this is like the blueberry jasmine. I don't know what flavors go well together, right?
So I made some simple syrup because I'm trying in real life to become a better cook, and it was 1-to-1 honey and Earl Grey tea.
Oh,
It's pretty okay.
oh, that sounds good.
It's not bad, and I mean it's very very easy. You make tea, you add an equivalent quantity of honey, you stir, and then you refrigerate, and it's good for a month.
Hence the term simple.
Yeah,
I thought it was because it was just sugar.
I
That's what
mean
know.
it is simple on many levels. I'm trying to find because there's a table early on in the book, which has
I was just looking for
prices
that
of
too.
things.
But I was not like none of the obvious resources
I think it's very early in the book.
index. Yeah, come back to that. Welcome to that page flipping podcast.
Right? Spending resource points, blah blah blah, affiliations, yada yada. Resources. Yep. Okay. Let's see if Quail has decided to help us out in chat yet. Nope. That's unfortunate.
Help us,
Nothing
Quail.
since the marvelous pun.
Well, at least it's on brand.
I have no idea if this is at all right, but it says see page 366 and 367.
I will check it out.
Base obstacles and
I
resources.
didn't see a whole like.
Yep,
I'm looking.
that's the one.
Oh well, I must have flipped too many pages forward then. I was all the way back in the maintenance obstacles.
Okay. So if this party goes well, you want this to be you buying your way into high society, or what do you get if this party goes
Yeah.
well?
It's whatever the one they're buying an affiliation with low nobility. I guess does that mean you're affiliating the people you're affiliating with are low or high nobility, or I will be low or high nobility?
If you get the affiliation, then yeah, you become that thing.
I don't know. I guess I functionally don't know the difference between low and high nobility.
How
What would
fancy
people-
you are.
Yeah, I guess how I don't know what level of nobility would these people be considered, because they're not part of some sort of king's court, but they are the highest in the area. But are they still low because they're only like earls or?
I'm imagining like Mike's character's dad is low nobility. Mm.
But he was the leader one, wasn't he?
Well, he's a prince of a like different county. So he actually is probably high because he's like, family of someone important.
So I imagine functionally this would be buying with low nobility then, because I can't imagine them just like, yeah, sure, you're the equal of a prince now.
Yeah.
That's for later on.
Well, I mean, and buying the affiliation means like they might talk to you as an equal, but they probably don't think of you as one.
Mm-hmm.
You're nouveau riche to them.
Yeah.
You're one of the wannabes.
Okay. That's actually like surprisingly low. A donation to the court for consideration of baronial rank is only ob 6.
So, but like a baron is just like a landholder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fair. They're on the low side of nobility for sure.
Yep. Viscountship is 7 per the book. So I mean, it seems like it might be like 7, and then accounting for all the elfy stuff gets you up to like 8 or 9, and then if you want to push for it, we can go higher, and that just gets you more on a success. I'm thinking 9.
9?
Yeah.
I think that's
Too
probably
high.
good enough for now.
Yeah.
Let's challenge Magnus a little
Challenge-
bit.
Right. Like that's
geez.
that's what it takes.
Look, I just will do challenging enough bribing one person. And now I'm setting up.
That was with
for-
your persuasion, though.
You roll 8
Yeah.
dice for resources and then have funds and 1 less cash. Because
You'll
you
be
took
fine.
that bag. You can
I can-
fabricate more cash, yes.
You need me to fabricate cash right now?
God damn. Just liquefy things until.
Hold on, I need to make a resource check, guys. For 2
Like
cash.
this. I need to make a resource check. Let me make a resource check, and then I'll make a resource check.
Right.
Yes, because let's see.
Are you going to spend 1 cash to make 2 cash?
Should it be 2? Yes, I will spend 1 cash to make 2 cash. You gotta spend money to make money. Damn it!
Literally, you're literally making.
Oh,
Money.
that was close.
Yeah, that's why I asked you to roll it.
Yeah, I got my 1 cash back. People are being stingy these days. It's not like it used to be.
And banditry abounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zach's
Okay,
even
so
hired one on as Claudia.
yeah. I guess I'm glad I got that roll out of the way before, because that completely correlates, right?
Yeah, that's how dice work.
Yes.
They have memory. Like
they
water.
do. Well, I don't know how Roll20 is programmed. There could be sneakiness in the code.
So
One hopes it's programmed for,
I mean, if you want to get super technical, most random functions included are randomer than dice because the plastics in the dice are not
uniform.
right functional uniform.
Fair.
I once paid extra money for fair dice. It was weird. I don't do that.
I bought cheat dice that I use when thematically appropriate.
Cool.
Like when I used to run D&D at a physical table, if someone said something especially cool, I'd hand them the D20 with 2 20s and no 1 on it.
See, now that roll's got me all paranoid, even though...
Right? Good.
Yeah.
Now we're
No,
playing Burning
no.
Wheel.
Yeah. We're just gonna go
Burn
for
those
this.
persona points.
Remember the time that Belle spent all of her points and she rolled a nearly mathematically impossible series of 1s?
Yeah, it was 3... I think it was 33313.
Was that the one where Bell shot Jack in the back of the neck?
No.
No, that was more intentional.
I mean, except for the slightly loss of face that I couldn't quite make this penalty for failing a simple roll is not that bad for
Mm-hmm.
resource checks. So yeah, we'll just go with this. We're not going to spend Artha yet.
Okay.
If we need to explode sixes, we'll do that. But what the?
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh my god! So that's
So,
That's so many fails.
would you like to spend some fate?
that's some tax.
There's absolutely no way I'm gonna get that many, but sure, we'll spend it just for the hell of it.
You can lower the
Oh,
tax.
that was routine. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's routine.
so you take one tax.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I don't even take a
okay.
tax. My fund goes down by 1. That's it.
Oh, okay. So you used a 3 fund on that.
Yeah, you use a 3 fund, it goes down to a 2 fund.
A 3 fund, your 2 cash, and your affinity for business die. Cool, man. Yeah.
So many.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's you have the gunpowder. You have an exceptional. It is breathtaking, honestly. Despite what reservations you have about quote unquote elfie shit, Eladrian Woodsorrow is good to her name and good to the festival that shares her namesake. It is actually captivating in here. And yeah, what she has done, given what you imagined was a more limited budget, and I imagine when you get the purchase order receipts, you may be less impressed. But in this moment, money well spent. The courtyard or the plaza or Cannonade Street, wherever this is happening, I'm imagining it's on the street and there's like vines stringing between lights that are instead of like the normal, I'm imagining like a harsh yellowy gaslight. The glass has all been tinted so it looks blue and more diaphanous, and there are moments when you find yourself and you feel like you're actually wandering through a forest, a well-lit, magically enchantedly beautiful forest. But I think you maybe realize that, yeah, holy shit, like, at least their traditions have some quantity of merit, whether or not you agree with them. Like, they can at least look very good and be transporting. And I mean, this is D&D. There probably is some like illusion magic and bullshit going on with some of this stuff, but a lot of it is also remarkably practical. Is anyone else at this party? Because I imagine like all of you are similarly affected. Maybe not wondering, wow, how much money did she spend on stained glass? But
Margaret might be wondering.
yeah, I mean, you're opening appraisal.
Shit, am I really?
Yeah,
What?
because you
any
nailed
skills
your
I'm not
roll.
helping?
You nailed your appraisal roll when you're just like, cool, like, what do I steal from this lawyer's office?
Right, that was brilliant.
And I was like, cool, you managed not to steal evidence. Zach.
I mean, Diso's probably here. If this is the party,
Oh, yeah.
Diso's here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Hawking
Not a party
like,
without Indy, so.
yeah, it's not a party till I walk in. That's, yeah, I'll be supervising the handing out of drinks. We got the one like traditional, and we got the one like special sparkling. We're handing out to everyone and making sure they know the name.
Like,
The name. Two Tusk Grapery.
I imagine you've got like a beer tent almost set up,
That second
But it's-
tusk is for flavor.
but it's like a wine tent, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, like that's just what I'm picturing, and like you do have, you know, your staff circulating and distributing booze, and I imagine like I don't know that any of your booze is cheap, but your less ostentatiously expensive vintage is the one that is functionally free. And then if anybody wants the very good stuff, then they get to walk over and play nice and blah blah blah, but pay you functionally.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair? Like that's sort of what I'm picturing.
Yeah, that that makes sense. I mean, we've also talked a little bit because Magnus is heavily. I don't even know if you're invested at this point, but you're definitely like an angel investor. Like you were there first, like throwing money at this thing. So was me serving drinks here part of the deal? Is it all free?
No, I think it was more just probably the cheap stuff to get everyone well sloshed is probably the free stuff that I had you give away, but I also let you set up your own private booth
Well, it's important
nearby.
to respect capitalism, right? Like exactly. Okay, sure. Yeah, we will have like our table set up with the good bottles of wine lined up, like the like medium good like version of wine like still in the cask. Pull the handle, it comes out the thing. Orcs serving it, goats are milling about.
But there's Eladrian is going to approach your booth. I believe she has a goat in tow, and this is like the first time you've ever seen one of your goats like not chewing on something.
Okay.
It's kind of following her like a puppy.
Okay. I will move to intercept.
Yeah. And she's
Good morrow, my lady. Would you like to try some wine?
It is so good to see you, Meister de Lavino. A very solemn and blessed Wood Sorrow's Eve to you.
You as well. You as well.
She sort of looks like she's expecting you to like bow or something, and then she's like, "Yes, yes." I appreciate your friend here, and like tussles the goat's hair sort of absent-mindedly with one hand, and it's just like it rotates its head so she can get behind the ear, right?
Oh yes, you do appear to have a way with the tusks, lady.
They're very lovely beasts. Unfortunately, not everyone here has my way. If you could try to keep them contained, they do bring a lovely piece of ambiance and a semblance of fresh air or like natural air to these crowded city streets, but not everyone is as adept at their handle as you and I are.
Alas, sorry, what's that, Mike?
Nothing. Okay, not a value.
Alas, my lady, you are. This is too true. I said, Tusk, would you like to rejoin your brethren? And I'll sort of wave to one side where there's like a stable of goats over there, like goating about.
Well, like one of them hops over the fence, like as the camera pans over.
Yeah.
Bah.
My lady, if I could I interest you in a drink in thanks for returning my noble beasts to me?
Why, good Sir de Lavino, I'm certain it would be my pleasure. And like a crystal glass has just like functionally appeared in her hand.
Excellent. And a bottle of the good wine has functionally appeared in mine.
Yeah.
And we are now sharing a drink. Yes, my lady, we have utilized some old but new techniques in the grapery this season. I think you'll be pleased with the results.
And she like swirls it, holds it up to one of the like fairy lights to check the legs, smells it, and she's, ooh, that's
Gunpowder?
No, it's she's like, ooh, that's something I haven't smelt in some time.
Mm-hmm.
My boy, who do you have? Well, and she leans in and she's, if I have a number of clients whom I wish to open this vintage to, they are a higher caliber. someone of discerning taste, similar to you and I. And she's like leaning into the fact that you're half elf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
okay.
she's sort of been doing that this whole time.
I'll do my best like elf stance.
Yeah.
Like, I just like stop wobbling for a second.
Yeah.
And, like look austere.
Yeah, and she's...
You don't need to stare, you're just mouth.
Well, yes, my lady. I do believe we could probably come to some sort of an arrangement if that was something that you wished.
I do so. And she just, like... I think she makes a show of just having an embarrassment of wealth, like, available to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It, like, just, like, snaps, I think, and someone comes walking over and just, yes, madam? And she's, it would be how much for a cask of this for my close personal friends?
Haha. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I will,
I mean...
quote her some number that I've heard Quail say before.
Okay.
5?
I mean, I would have to check with the remaining stores and make sure that we could cover such an offer. But my major domo, I'll sort of like, I imagine Quail's like over there, like in a vest and a tie and no shirt.
Yeah.
Right. My major domo Quail here handles the finances.
Is that a lie?
I don't think it is. I think
Okay.
that like such things are not my forte. I am simply the instrument of winemaking.
You're the auteur.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you're that piece of shit. Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
I have people for such droll concepts as money.
Right.
But I do, Mike.
I wasn't being facetious. I was being... I don't know what the word is.
Serious? Genuine?
But yes, let us leave the underlings to make the deal. And would you accompany me, milady? The goats appear to be frolicking.
Would you like to frolic?
So, this seems like what you're trying to do is persuade her
Sure.
not to haggle one-on-one, and instead
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's definitely what's happening. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that's what you get is Quail just like haggles with this person who's honest. Like, it's probably a very similar battle, but at least that would be Quail's fuck up and not Indiso's.
Yeah, no, that's on Quail. That's totally on Quail.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, Quail, why are we out of wine and money? Good. You're a horrible person.
Well, I am definitely getting out haggled, like straight up out haggled by this person.
Cool. How's your persuade?
My persuade's 4, which is not awesome, but serviceable.
Do you know what her will is?
I believe it's like 6 or something.
7?
It's 6. 7's absurd.
7's slightly higher than mine.
Yeah.
Yes, we both have 6. We both have 6 wills, but my persuade's not great. However, since this is most likely to be a challenging test,
Mm-hmm.
it'll get higher after I fail this.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, please, milady, we do not wish to waste time on this on such an important day as holiday, which name Zach has forgotten.
Are you like
Commencement.
would Endiso have remembered?
Probably not, if
Okay.
we're being real. I would
Okay.
no, on such an auspicious and important day in the Elven calendar.
Right.
We should be
As-
concentrating. Mhm, yeah. We should be concentrating on other loftier things than the exchange of base currency. Let us leave this to our peoples.
Fuck. Okay. All right. What are you throwing?
I'm definitely throwing persuasion. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking I'm probably throwing in. I don't think falsehood works. I might.
Have you been untruthful?
No, I mean I'm definitely like I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm not. I'm super intimidated by haggling
Sure.
with this person.
Yep.
Um,
It might be fork, like a guaranteed fork. Let me check. But keep going.
Let me check and make sure I'm not like talking myself out of.
It is a guaranteed fork.
Okay. So looking for ob 6. I can get to 5D, and we'll fork in 5D. Ob 6 is challenging.
Challenging is more ob than you have dice.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fork in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fork in falsehood.
Sure.
Come on, where's my roll? There's my roll. Nope, that's not right. Why does it not want to roll?
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna fork in the falsehood.
Would you like to spend one of your 5 personae?
Whoa. Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I will spend.
I'll deduct that from your sheet and add it to persuasion.
Alright, 1 Artha.
Mm-hmm.
We'll roll at 6. Space obstacle 6. Submit and go, or any of those 6s. Oh gosh.
2 of them.
2. Ooh.
I will spend a fate and re-roll that.
Okay, you're down to 12 fate.
Alright.
Only. Go.
No!
So close.
So-
Yeah, she looks you dead in the eyes and says, "Of course. Base currency." Looks you dead in the eyes and lies to you and just, "Of course. Base currency is so much less important than appreciating the lovely atmosphere and the holy day of this auspicious holiday." And then just like you see like this glint in her eyes, and she's like, "What holiday was it again?" Or like could you or a toast, and like she has lured you into the trap of like getting you to look like an ass and basically admit that you don't know what holiday it is.
Deal.
And what was my name again?
Yeah.
Covers up name tag.
Yeah.
Well, it is the holiday wherein we.
Oh dear, don't just. And then like, like essentially just motions with one hand, and yeah, her right hand elf like wanders over to Quail and just crushes him in a haggling roll.
All right, awesome.
So it turns out the price was 5.
Right. I was going to give you a lower ob, but I wanted you to have the challenging test. But I was going to lower the ob because we don't need to discuss currency. Today is a holy day. Is absolutely the tack of argument that works on her.
Mm-hmm. But not when you just blow it.
Yeah.
Just straight blow it. Yep. No, and now, well, I mean, I had the attention of forces that can pay for my things. They just aren't this time around as much.
She's gonna give you some money, but like,
I need so much money. I'm
yeah.
taxed.
I think basically you get, yeah. You knock one tax off. Is basically
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll only lose the grapery a little bit next time.
Well, then, like, what this is represented by is, like, an influx of cash and, like, back at Two Tusks, like, basically the next time we see it, like, some of the windows have been repaired and, like, a bunch of the cloth is still disgusting and dirty, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine the immediate scene is, like, the orcs are throwing their own party for, like, their holiday that happens right now.
Oh, yeah.
And, like news comes back that we need to get this elf person some wine, and like they functionally ignore it, which is fine. Like that's just and then eventually, like, okay,
yeah,
like the next morning you see like a cart pulled by 4 goats leave bearing a giant cask of wine.
All the wine.
So she's going to continue walking with you, and she's... So, my dear, who is it that you have in your employ who knows the ways and, like, swirls the wine and, like, the light catches it weirdly? And she's like, who knows the ways of Pakun? And then just, like, takes a sip as you're just like, how the fuck?
Aha, milady. Will you begrudge me no trade secrets? On this our holiest of days.
Yeah, you can't blame an elf for trying.
I truly can't, milady. You are too charming.
Yeah, and she is old enough to be your great-grandmother. But, I mean, elfie bullshit, so...
Yeah, but like elfie bullshit, so she's like, yeah.
She's
probably sprier than I am. Like,
mentally, I imagine her being played by Robin Wright.
okay.
Just with pointier ears.
Okay.
Elves, man. Yeah. She's,
Okay.
well... Yeah, I tried, essentially.
Yeah, and again, I am happy. Should you wish to visit the premises, to show you the glories of our new grapery and the methods by which this was produced. But
Are you
alas.
threatening to brawl her in a muddy pit?
Oh God. Would she? So here's the question.
No.
Not the question is not whether I am threatening to do that.
Okay.
The question is, would she interpret that
No.
as a possibility?
No,
Okay.
no.
Because that would be great.
Yes.
Suddenly I am physically threatening. this person.
I just really like the idea of, like, yeah, I'll show you how it's made.
Stop it.
In this corner.
Yeah.
But alas, I have tracked down some expertise, and they are paying dividends, as you can clearly taste. I will have finished mine and like be holding the glass in the arm that I've got crooked on hers, and then like pour myself some.
Yeah. They do tremendous work, and I must say, my good sir, you do too. And I think she pats your hand and says, like, she's going to say something that's basically like, thanks for being a sucker, but nicer than that.
And like in Elven, so I can barely understand it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just, yeah, like there's a traditional Elven greeting that you probably understand. Like a traditional Elven, like, farewell or something. And then it's like, and like, I hope you never lose like your artistry first or something, like your artistic drive, your drive to create and not know how to market your wares functionally. God.
And you, my lady, do be careful. I better do be careful. There are a lot of inebriated humans and a lot of guns moving around tonight. Please be careful.
Yeah, and then we cut to Margareta.
Who's actively poisoning someone.
Are you?
I mean, this seems like the perfect opportunity to eliminate some sort of noble.
It really is, and I'm kind of disappointed that I'm not currently using my poisoning ability right now.
So, I mean, who gave you the poison, and who's your target?
So, like the first thing I want to, like, I've got all of these wonderful passive skills for like listening in and wheedling secrets out of people.
Okay.
And like, I want to be in the place where I can hear all the secrets, so I know the person to just.
Sure. Boop. Okay. Do you have like a rough target in mind?
So, like, I don't want to bring disgrace on Adam.
This might be a better tack. What information do you get on success?
So, let's start with, let's look at my beliefs, my goals here, because I should work towards those things. So, I am.
Do you want gossip about the cart swallows?
Right. Yeah. I looks like I'm kind of like trying to buy my way into court fears of mechanism of control, change of written chaos. All right. So like I am wanting to. There's anybody So I vaguely want to get Timothy, get information Timothy can use for his little for the small game that he's playing, and I also want to get information that I can use either for there's like 9 different things that I want from listening in. So maybe I should just start like one at a time.
Okay. Well, like, yeah. Let's. What are you? What's the first thing you want?
I think the first thing that I want is card swallowed gossip.
Okay.
Right, like I want to know the pressure points that I can, or the weak points that I can apply pressure to. So like that's first in the hierarchy.
Sure. And the second thing?
The second thing is I want to know the rich folk about town that is having somewhat of a hard time of things that I could apply mercenarial pressure to in order to relieve them of their worldly burdens.
Okay.
And the third thing is gossip for Timothy.
So, I'm gonna pose. You've identified, because you're good at this. You've identified 3 things in the room in the plaza that could be of interest to you. So there's absolutely. It's not Timothy, but it's, I think, like the 4th brother, because Timothy's the 5th son, or so it's the 4th son of the Carswallops. Discussing basically with an elf how their traditions are wrong. And that's like, he's going to be blabbing about what they do back home and how their traditions are superior, and clearly you want to do these things, and yada yada yada, and basically just talk entirely too much about what they do at home, and probably, if someone were listening in, air his dirty laundry. There's a second conversation that you can sort of go eavesdrop on, and that's Sanderson and Son. So the Sanderson guy, the lawyer, with the mercenary, what you shot in the leg to death.
Yeah, accidentally, or shot in the leg, and then the mercenary died.
He's here, and it seems like he's here meeting about essentially a conspiracy he's constructing to see if he can't get pressure applied to your group, you, and Magnus. Kind of in that order of priority. And then the third sort of thing that you've identified, and this is very video gamey, and I don't apologize for that. This third sort of conversation you've identified is someone from your father's retinue or family or court. And I don't know if anybody here has read the 4th book by Anne Leckie, which is set in the Ancillary Justice universe, and I can't remember the title of it right now. But basically, I imagine you have like a suave, handsome, kind of lazy, but like competent brother who's basically got your father's favor and uses that to denigrate you in your father's eyes. So, which would you like to pursue?
It's like the best version of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Right?
Yeah. But like, he's here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's here because there's a big party, and maybe he was in town for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, like, I'm going to go get the information that I want from this dude over here, but then I'm going to come back and murder my brother, I think.
Okay.
So.
Sure.
I like the Zach and Adam. No facial expression changes at the concept of a fratricide.
Yeah, it's fratricide, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to go get the information that I would need first.
Which one?
Oh, from the gossiping Cardswallops who are telling the elves why.
Okay.
Yes, there was an excellent facial expression.
I just like the phrase "gossiping Cardswallops." Like I really like that.
It has a good like mouthfeel to it.
Yeah.
For those of you playing at home, try saying "gossiping Cardswallop."
Gossiping Cardswallop.
Good. Thank you for obliging.
I am, in fact, playing along at home.
Right.
Now look into the mirror and say that.
3 times.
What's the... Fuck. What was the thing? I can't remember what it was. There was, one of the Welcome to Night Vale episodes. It was every so often he said some phrase, and I've forgotten it now.
Amazing phrases.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, so you go and eavesdrop on the gossiping Cartswallop.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine the roles here remain inconspicuous, and then eavesdrop the thing. What's your play? So we know your intent. We know what you get. What's the task? What do you roll?
Excellent question. Let's see what I put points in. I believe that's shit. I forgot if observation actually does what I think it.
Observation is for detecting sneaky people.
Perception is for.
Perception would be just doing the eavesdrop, and that's just like you stand around a corner and perceive at them.
Right. And like I would fork in stealthy or inconspicuous, but stealthy would be like hiding, inconspicuous as being unobtrusive.
So you can't fork skills into stats. Skills help skills, and stats help stats. So if you want to just perceive at it, then you'd just roll 5 dice, and then I'd figure out what your ob is.
Can I be inconspicuously next to the person in order to eavesdrop? Or
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine you can either like stand across the room and listen real hard, and that's perception, or you can get pretty close to them and just listen normally, and that's the inconspicuous or stealthy approach.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Stealthy doesn't feel right. Stealthy feels like
stealthy's the Batman.
Right, like I'm on the ceiling.
Right.
Right. So
how cool do you want to be, Michael?
Not that. No.
Okay.
I'm going to Assassin's Creed this.
Okay.
I'm not going to Batman it.
Okay.
So you're going to sit between 2 people on a bench nearby?
Yeah.
I actually really like the social stealth in that game. Like, I think it's way better than, like, I'm up in a rooftop shadow.
But you can't jump stab anyone from a bench, Andrew.
I disagree.
Aura of Innocence is... Oh, I could not have done that, such a thing.
Which... Oh, yeah, it's the...
Calling for falsehood or inconspicuousness.
Yeah.
But, but none of my traits are about not being seen.
Correct.
Because Darling of the Court and Mark of Privilege are for people treating me more nicely.
Yes. I also like how you have Darling of the Court and also, like, you're the disgraced daughter of your father's court.
Yeah.
Which means people in this court really like you, and everyone back home is just like, fuck her.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
okay.
I mean, that's... Or, like, there's no... People like me, but there's no intent of...
advancement?
Yeah. Yeah, it's... the black sheep of, we don't have to worry about her. She's never going to, produce an error or whatever.
Yeah, or amount to anything, or... Yep.
Right. Is simply the court bard, right?
Or I mean, like, to those who know you better, the court murder hobo.
Right. And that echelon of noble is not regarded positively.
Which is weird in
also
a violent, prideful traditionalist.
Yeah, well, like,
But it's supposed to be hand in glove and not gun in face.
Exactly. They like their violence or very prescriptive, like the dueling, or like completely in the shadows.
Yeah.
And you just Omar'd people in court.
Right.
Like,
it's the like, oh, they tripped and fell on the knife 37 times.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I didn't kill the noble. The noble died by his own hand, and look, I was nearby, but simply the noble died. So I am going to not be able to use any of my cool birthright traits, which sounds horrible. But I can use lots of inconspicuousness and perhaps some falsehoods.
Stealthy. Falsehood will get you out of trouble.
Right.
I think stealthy is
Yeah.
going to be the thing that helps keep you.
Remind me to open acting just to continue the non-sensory.
To use falsehood in this situation, I think you have to actively walk up to them and tell them you weren't listening to them.
Psst, I'm not listening to you. It's okay.
Or it's the John Cena.
That's it.
You can't see me. Okay. I don't imagine they're particularly good at this. Should know what inconspicuous obs are.
I've got that right here. It's on page 278.
Okay. Thank you. I also love that I keep opening this book to rude carpentry.
I think of carved middle fingers. I know that that's not what it is, but
Versus observation. Cool, I was correct. Okay. So it's a versus test. So let's figure out what your ob is. It is... Okay. Say we start at 3. They have help. They're drunk. So we'll just stay at 3. Cool. Your ob is... Wow!
shit.
They don't have fate, so...
So my ob is 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I already have a 4 because it's conspicuous, so it's going to be... Is that routine?
I think it's difficult if you don't add anything to it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm not going to add anything to it because this will increase my inconspicuosity.
Isn't that like that mechanical, like, hey, you should make this roll difficult to impossible for yourself? That's how you get better. Also, it's sunset outside, so that's why I'm like...
It's the golden hour. It's over there.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I keep looking outside and blinding myself in the sunlight, but it's worth it.
All right, I'm going to click submit just to see what happens.
Punch
and then I'm
it.
going to click submit again,
Okay.
and probably one more time.
Okay.
So don't punch it, that doesn't fork.
Oh,
I mean, that's pretty much on par for every role in this party so far. So
and there's nothing I can do to increase that, right?
Not at this juncture.
Okay.
But
But
the
I,
idea of this giant party that is going to be our undoing because
Yeah.
we can't put together like 3 4s.
but I leveled up inconspicuousness, so how do I do that?
So you just back out all the
5.
things and then type 5 in that field.
Okay, I was just clicking on that.
Okay. There you go. You now have an inconspicuous of 5.
Hooray! So I am not inconspicuous. I'm the opposite of that. I'm conspicuous.
So yeah, so the card swallow is berating this elf. And I think the elf just sort of like turns, notices you doing like the like, you can't see me, I'm the Grand Galactic Inquisitor, ignore me sort of face. Which is of course,
or drinking with my back to you from not that far away.
yeah. And says, you there, like, you there. And I think like they mistake you, for someone that you aren't. They think you're someone else.
Okay.
I don't know that they're particularly rude, but they're just like, excuse me. They probably call you by someone else's name.
Do they prefix it with lady or my lady?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because otherwise that would have been like...
Yeah, no, they think you're just a different noble.
Okay.
Also, you don't get to just, like, actually immediately murder them. Like, it's, you go to court and, like...
I don't know that Margareta knows that.
Right. I mean, she would find out rapidly.
The glove comes out.
It's yeah, Patricia, can you just... And you turn around, and the card swallow, like, just stops talking and says... And just looks you up and down as though they might recognize your physical description.
The wine is magnificent tonight, isn't it not?
Yeah, and
Right.
he just...
slurring my speech.
Yeah,
right.
and he raises a glass and just sips it, and like looks up at the elf, just You may leave.
The elf or me?
To the elf.
Okay.
And she's just, I've never been so thoroughly offended and like is storming off to go find Eladrian and just basically bitch about dwarfs.
First.
Because they're short.
Great.
Short people got no reason.
I don't know what do elves. The elves are very much the clean shape. I don't know. Warhammer was all Elgy stuff.
Just you're that one Timothy's been talking about, aren't you?
I mean, I'm not going to say. I'm sure that Timothy is.
Now I know.
Are sure.
Now I know you're the one Timothy's been.
It would not be my position to say that Timothy was wrong about this sort of thing. So if you believe that he is, then surely he is.
Putting ideas in that boy's head, aren't you?
I believe that everyone should be able to reach their full potential.
Better ideas than bullets.
That boy thinks he's gonna find that idiot brother of ours, and he's gone. And he like takes another swig of the wine. And he's just gone. Never coming back.
Very troubling then. Except for the second in line. Not troubling for them, eh?
You have a very good point there. But I don't think Timothy is your winning horse. Or goat. Is it goats around? It's all goats here, isn't it? Timothy is not your winning goat.
There's also a particularly large breed of hairless rat sort of creature, but I think you're talking about the goats.
Maybe.
Look, I'm drunk. Sorry.
Yeah. And he's like, maybe Timothy is the one you want to be talking to then. That's a shame, but...
Well, I mean, here's the particulars of whom I'm talking to is dependent upon exchanges of goods and services.
So you are a mercenary. I knew it.
Perhaps of I was going to say ideals and not blades, but I guess that would be false.
I mean, you can lie to him.
That's true. Information is always in short supply. It's always highly desired. I forgot what the phrase is. Hopefully Margaret has better words than I am.
And he's just...
High request and short availability.
Listen. You leave Timothy and tell him that he's on his own or whatever it is. Or lead him down the wrong path. That's much better. I'm smart. But what you should do is you should work for me, because I can actually take that information and apply it, because I've got what you don't have and what Timothy don't have. And that's brains. And he like points and like knocks himself a little off balance and just stumbles back to his feet, and he's, and that's, yeah, brains.
In quite the abundance.
Yeah. See? You get it. You're not as dumb as most of the humans around here. Good. I knew you would. You should come work for me.
I will absolutely consider that. Just let me know when I should meet you, and I'll set up an appointment. And
I mean, let's talk brass tacks now. What's a woman like you found on that useless brother of mine?
oh, well. I was going to say which useless brother, because there's so many of them. No. There is... uselessness belies what's the word? No one is useless, my lord. It's merely the use that you need to put to them changes. For example, Timothy has his uses. You would just need to. What's the use that Timothy? For example,
He's a hyper competent bureaucrat
right. So like,
who has none guile.
simply talking to him could give you information on what the rest of your family is up to, or bringing him into a logistics deal on how to better deal with some of your businesseries. Like he's not stupid, my lord. He is oft overlooked, and I wouldn't necessarily trust him with the keys to the vault, but so to speak.
And he nods and he's... You definitely have more brains than the rest of them humies around here, but... He went full orc there for a second. I apologize. Like 40k orc. But... Tell you what. You get me another glass of this stuff and, like, some wine, like... I imagine actually, like, splashes you a bit.
Mm.
And he's, you get me some more of this stuff and we can keep talking. And, like, holds out his glass.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll go ahead and get his glass and go find the nearest winemonger, the person who carries drinks.
I mean, there
provider.
There are waiters wandering around with glasses, and they just trade them out for the cheap stuff. Alternatively, Yep, go ahead.
What was the word you said?
Like, waiters?
There was a word before stuff. This doesn't matter. Please continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I could go find a waiter.
Yeah, and they'll just swap out the glass for you. I'm surprised you haven't resorted to violence yet.
Sure.
I'm not suggesting that you do. It's just I feel like I've been pushing on your beliefs versus your instincts and your traits. But no, you're doing the thing. So what if this conversation goes well for you? What do you get out of it?
I mean, for starters, I find more information on this person, right?
Okay.
Like, it's going to be easier for me to like the patronage, right? I want to hop up the food tree,
Okay.
the food chain.
Sure.
Getting information about this person and getting into their semi good graces, or at least.
So you get into
circles.
you get into his confidences,
Right.
okay, and he
to
trusts
know-
you as like a local advisor and guide. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. He's I think he's just like halfway behind a shrub, on his hands and knees, when you return with the glass. And he's where did I dropped something. I dropped my
Dignity.
No. But it's like I think he's looking for his coin pouch, and it's just very clearly on his back.
I was going to say a signet ring.
Yeah. No. But I dropped my coin. Where did my coin pouch go? And he like turns to look at you. And he's, you there? Help me find my coin pouch.
If only I had lighter fingers.
And he's, oh, you got my wine, and stands back up and like is even woozier because of the head rush from standing up quickly.
Yeah, so I definitely give that man wine as quickly as possible.
Okay,
What's
you.
the skill for telling someone that politely that they already have their coin purse? Is that etiquette? Unfortunately,
No.
Okay.
Few different ways to do it. I mean, you can just mention it and not make a roll out of it.
okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was.
Yeah. If you're looking to be like obsequious and deferential to someone, the role is soothing platitudes.
Right, which I've opened as well.
Have you? Oh yeah, because you used it on someone who is. You rolled that 3 times. Awesome.
I hope to get 6 soon.
God, revolution-wise, good. Yeah, he's good. Yes, thank you. And like takes a swig from it, and he's. What did I say again? What was the? And like, what do you think the role is here to like have him believe that you should be one of his trusted advisors?
Oh. Falsehood.
Okay, that seems the obvious one.
Right, like, I mean, I could make a pitch for ugly truth, but no, I'd rather do falsehood here. And it's like, part of it. Ugly truth is easier. Right,
It might not be.
You couldn't fuck your ass with both hands at the moment, sir. Falsehood, yeah. Like, oh, you were telling me about how all the lovely things you've heard about me, and that you couldn't wait to put my skills to the test. That sounds a little bit bluer than I was intending.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's see the dice. I think his will is somewhat damaged right now, given that he's very drunk.
You're welcome.
What can I say? I can fork in persuasion?
Yep. But you haven't learned persuasion yet.
That's why I'm trying to learn persuasion. Right. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to be more kind than ugly, so I'm not going to fork anything to that.
Okay.
What is this kind individual?
I think his will is normally 4, but it's down to 3.
Okay. That would be routine, which I made, luckily.
You nailed it.
But I do not need routine dots for falsehood.
Not anymore. But yeah, he's good. Yes, good. And he's drunk. You've lied to him, and he thinks he can get you to betray Timothy. I think he just gives you like functionally like a key to his office. I don't know that he stores anything in it because he has some quantity of guile, but I mean, there might be something in there. But yeah, gives you a key to his office, and he's like, "I'll see you tomorrow, and you can bring me lunch."
I'll bring you something interesting to read with the lunch.
Yes, excellent. Yes, good. Yes. Yeah, well, as you were, and like shoos you away.
Oh, thank you. My lord probably is the correct title for him. And then I will go try to score some poison to poison my brother while the other scene continues.
Sure. Let's do a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and do a Magnus thing. But we'll take a 5-minute break here, and then because that's how 5-minute breaks work, we'll see you again in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. We're not cops unlike Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spider-Man does have like a grudge against street criminals. It's a thing that exists, right? Yeah, usually, and like you are using non-lethal methods, even when you like punch someone into the air and then swing and kick them hard enough into a wall that like leaves a dent and then webbing them there. Like you're not like shooting them, I guess. Like,
I mean, I'm playing on Superior simply by dint of the Superior Spider-Man being out of Octavius as Peter Parker. And I spend perhaps 5 minutes in the air before I web them, swing them like in a 360-degree circle twice, and then smash them into concrete.
That buffs right out. Also, welcome back.
Of the concrete.
you smash people pretty good. You smash people with spider strength, no less. You smash people pretty good. Yeah.
Quill would like to point out that you smash people off of skyscrapers in that game.
Well, but I think this is important because I actually had this conversation with my wife when I was playing the game, right? If you pay very close attention, every time you knock somebody off something high, tiny little web whips out and catches them and snaps them to a wall.
Rotational momentum still a pain in the ass or skull?
Rotational momentum has never counted for Spider-Man except for Gwen Stacy that one time. Nothing else matters. Momentum doesn't exist in the Spider-Verse. Just that one time.
Everybody gets one. Anyways, we're back from break. Clearly still on our bullshit.
It's our only bullshit though, so that's kind of...
That is a fucking lie, sir. What is Magnus up to?
I don't know. Magnus doesn't really have after the failed resource check. There's not much more he can do.
Okay.
I'm only kind of bitter that I spent a month setting this up and just failed the one roll. So yeah, I mean, there might be a functional role to try to salvage this conversation later.
Okay. I mean, so like, I imagine like the dinner has been concluded. A bunch of people are starting to leave if they're older, and like you roll home basically before sundown. But there's also people who are like preparing their horses to go out and ride and like functionally shoot these new guns that they've got loaded with sacramental gunpowder and probably no shot. Like they just want to go make bang noises in the woods.
Yeah, and I imagine the failure probably plays out where Magnus thinks he's going to join them or something because he's the host.
So I'm imagining the failure is just like everyone's actually way more taken with the Wood Sorrow's Eve thing than they are with the hunt. And like it is way elfier than like anything you anticipated. And like people seem to be enjoying it, which is just like additionally twisting of that knife.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
I heal Sarah every time you say elfier and elfie, and it just makes me happy.
She's a very good elf, Mike. Sarah was never. Anyways.
So yeah, I don't know how Magnus salvages anything from this event other than just being a good host.
Okay. So I mean, like, so if you're a good host, you basically just want to keep this door open.
Yeah, that's like the best I can do with this right now.
Okay.
I think he tries to make some connections.
Sure. Who are people that you try to meet?
It's once again some nobles that I think I can ingratiate myself with or recognize the benefit of capitalism as a weapon against the invaders.
Okay. I'm trying to think, like, because Fusiliere, the Lord Fusiliere, the father, didn't seem to have too much issue with the occupiers. He was honestly kind of okay with them. They were paying him really well. I'm wondering if it's maybe like one of Vigo's relatives. Like he's the nephew or niece of like the bigger family.
Mm-hmm.
He was into real estate. Maybe these folks are into just like food.
Gourmands.
Or just like bulk food. Like they own the like grain farms around here. Growing the rice and the wheat and the corn.
Yeah. Staple crops.
Yeah. They might be more amenable. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
I mean, on one hand, war is always good for business, but I guess I'm not advocating for all-out war.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think the easiest way to do it would be to try to sell the concept of the guild to people who make money or like they made their fortune off of.
Well,
money
like, sure, okay, yeah, okay. So you'd like to speak to? So do you get like? I'm imagining Vigo does the introduction for you or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be good.
The wheel. All right. So yeah, Vigo introduces you to. I'm gonna need to figure out this person's first name. But to someone whom he refers to as Uncle Grano. I don't know that he has to call them like your, right honorable lordship da Grano. But yeah, and he does bow and he says, and this is a friend of mine who's helping me grow my own fortune. This is Maestro Magnus Luciano. You may have heard of him. And the Lord Grano like doesn't even react to your name. Like it's just a stone wall.
Yeah.
It says, Maestro Luciano, I must commend you. This is truly a spectacular evening, and you have outdone yourself.
I thank you, my Lord Grano. That I aim to put on a grand celebration to bring back our best day, and I'm happy that I did it justice.
It's rather something, and using that wood sorrow woman to assist you, that's an unconventional move, but it seems to have paid dividends.
Indeed, it does seem that people are truly taken with the festivities.
And like, maybe you catch just a barely concealed sneer at like, he's a little salty that like there's this much elf shit here.
Yeah.
And he just yes, it's important to know where some people's views of our proper traditions lie. And we'll like take a long sip of wine.
I agree that tradition plays a important role in knowing who we are, and you may have heard that I helped bring back an honorable tradition from Thundering Valley's past in the Merchants Guild.
I had heard. It does amuse me when you count your coins. And just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, your fortunes can be counted. And like, that's a thing that you do. I want to
I don't know how much I'm going to push my luck with this guy's kind of an ass anyways, but he's a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Go with false humility.
Indeed, it is a quaint hobby for some.
And that's I love how I can like push you into like almost just debasing yourself to get in. It's it's kind of really fun, and I also feel like an asshole. Yeah.
Jamming.
Yeah, and he just like just nods, right? Like has that like smug superior air and just like yes. Yes, good. Like this one knows his place sort of shit. Like
So yeah, on one hand, I want to, this is the one thing that I've salvaged. But on the other hand, I kind of want to ruin this guy. So we'll see.
Okay. It's impressive. This evening, it's unfortunate that I don't have time for the proper hunt, as it were. But do give my regards to the young bucks, assuming there are horses enough, of course. And he's just like twisting the knife of like, there's a lot more elf shit here than like human stuff.
I assure you that he was said, yeah, he's not making it right. It is regretful that you will miss the hunt.
Yeah.
I assure you will be truly a display and a tribute to the glory of the valley.
Tell him that that it's a shame that none of us will see his hunting skill in action.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, it feels like we're coming up to a roll,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to figure out like. I don't know that this guy will be particularly put off if you actually show some spine. But he also kind of likes you being denigrating. Like, it's entertaining in the way that he's like, oh, cool, I've got a new court jester sort of thing. Like, I've got someone who is willing to act the fool for collective amusement.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what role that I would be angling for.
I think he sends Vigo off to go get him more wine, which is just the power move that I'm getting assholes to do this evening. They're like, you there, get me more of this drink. 'Cause it's...
Oh.
Yep.
But I'm gonna countermand with my own...
Yeah.
I'm sure we could send in someone else. Young Vigo here has much, has important guild business to take care of at the time. I know we have plenty of waitstaff to bring you a refill.
Okay. So is this kind of feels like Ugly Truth, or you're just like, no, your nephew works for me, or like something
Sure, yeah.
similar?
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know how to, test loyalty.
Right. It's the like curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal wise.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be persuade, and just like the two of you both try to persuade Vigo to do the thing.
Sure.
That seems, yeah.
A persuade off.
Yeah, it's a versus persuade test. Okay. I think this dude probably has... He's probably at like persuade 4. He's not bad at it. And he's going to have a few applicable forks here. Like he's going to have... I think he's got family secrets wise, because he at least at some point, or is at least familiar with Bastard, which is one of the noble life paths is Bastard. And it comes with family secrets wise. So yeah, he's got family secrets wise that he's going to fork in, and I think something similar, like falsehood or something. So I think he's going to get up to 6 dice. Let's figure out what your Rob is. Oof, 4.
Damn it.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any relevant forks though.
I mean, you can start making arguments for them.
Did you bribery it?
No. Yeah, I guess I could say that I could fork in administration to actually come up with a real thing that he needs to go off and do right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you can.
Empty this garbage.
Power delegation here.
No, I don't want to also. I don't want to foil. I want to basically give Vigo something that's of self-worth to him. Like it's not get me wine. No.
It's
you'll
Vigo.
fetch me.
I thought I meant to give you this contract to close out or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, go close that deal.
Oh yeah, the Lord Fusilieri's over there. We wanted to finalize our contract.
Yeah.
With him.
Nice. Okay. God, family secrets wise.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like how to BS anymore. But we'll just go with that.
Okay. So you're doing administration and... Or is it just administration?
I don't have anything. I mean, yeah, it's... If it's a contract, I could probably also say accounting.
So I don't want to play your character for you, but Vigo is a merchant.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. I always forget that if dealing with merchants. So yeah. You can fork in merchant-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're already well into routine difficulty here.
Yeah, because it is on 4.
Oh, it's out 4, right.
Yeah.
That's fine. I Damn. 3 1s?
Wow.
Brutal.
Yeah, Vigo looks at you and like I think we get the scene where it's you on the right side of camera, Grano on the left, and Vigo, like we sort of see
Trapped.
Vigo from a distance. He literally trapped in the frame between the two of you. And you're just like, no, Vigo, you have to go, close that deal with the Lord Fusilieri. And Grano just looks like this, just looks through Vigo. And like it cuts through him.
Yeah.
And he just, I'll be right back, Uncle. And like, I don't know that he even has the like, he is too ashamed to look you in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as he's gone, Grano says, well, it sounded like that Fusilieri contract was important. You should probably see to that. Have a very pleasant and good evening.
Yeah, I don't think I even have a parting quip after that.
Yeah. And like, I think he also does the, like, the shoe, like the you may be gone sort of thing, and just...
Yeah, no. I guess
I didn't know you could fail rolls, Magnus.
Magnus can easily fail rolls. I'm still doing the rolling here.
Yeah.
3 1s, jeez.
Yep. Well, at least you got a routine persuasion. That doesn't help you at all.
No, not at all.
Okay.
This is just a colossal failure on Magnus's part.
I do enjoy how resources doesn't even get the constellation prize, though. Like, you have to hit the resources rules to get the dots.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah, because if you tax your resources, they aren't growing.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, like if I fail a challenging vintner roll, I still get the progress dot.
Yep.
That's not true of resources. Like,
Yep.
it's gone.
Yep.
Also, it's harder the next time.
Yeah. But I mean, resources also solve a lot of problems if you can make the rolls.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have anything else you'd like to do? Would you like to go on the hunt, or?
I would like to just stop rolling dice.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
So you're just gonna, like, from here on out, you're just like, wow, I'm gonna just glide for the rest of this evening, and like
I think
make sure drinks are full, make sure people are having a good time. You did throw a party. It did go
Yes.
well. It's just people are more likely to remember the Wood Sorrow's Eve than the
Arabesque Day.
Arquebus Day. Yeah.
Arquebus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's kind of where Magnus is
Okay.
then for the evening, I think. There might be, just general
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Like,
nothing that's of note.
yeah. At this point, like, you're on momentum.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of really sorry.
No, that's just how this went.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I find it also oddly compelling, right? Like, it's, yeah, you put in a bunch of effort and it was just like turned.
Yeah, he basically was just punching above his weight class for this evening. And
Was it that, or did you just get unlucky?
6-1.
yeah.
Well, I mean, punching above your weight class has connotations that versus.
Swinging above your weight class. Maybe the punches aren't
Sure.
connecting.
Yeah, he was out of his league, basically. The nobility was not ready to recognize the merchant class as one of them.
Which, like, cool. So where does Magnus go next? So okay, so it sounds like you're good from here, Adam.
Yeah, I don't have any other ideas.
Okay.
Okay.
And Diso or Margareta, is there anything else at this grand party?
You have the whole poisoning thing, Mike.
Margaret's brother is here, right?
Mm-hmm. And, like, your stupid, sexy, handsome, competent brother who's also really good at just, like, getting under your skin.
Yeah, but like, and he's like a jerk too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I either want to. Let's see. Am I liable to kill this person or to make them look foolish? According to this,
I mean,
we are
he's
violent, and prideful.
Mm-hmm. Violent, prideful, but, I mean, he is too. And he's family. And I don't know if there's a tradition of fratricide, but I also don't know that there isn't.
Right.
And I also don't know if Margareta bucks that particular tradition or not. So
Let's see what I got here. Like, I'm tempted to.
has he seen you yet?
I mean, he hasn't been derisive to me in public yet, so one would assume not, or as intentionally. Like, he also hasn't said hi, right? So he doesn't expect to see me here.
So maybe he does wander over to say hello. And does the French kiss on either side of the cheeks thing? He says, "Margaret, my lovely sister," and he doesn't have to call you your lady because you're family.
Right.
How good it is to see you, and does a very fake hug, and the smooch on one side, and then as he goes to smooch over the other side, he says, "Father wishes to see you at home."
And I say, I would like to use etiquette here.
Okay.
It's something in the nature of, my darling brother, I do so appreciate that you would come to me to deliver a message and not feel humbled by such a task.
I mean, that might just be ugly truth.
I mean, like I'll say, like the ugly truth would be,
Truth is, Dad sent his errand boy.
Right. Does it as an errand boy. It's good to know that he's trusted you with words now, as opposed to simply letters.
Right. Which I think that's what this... Like, I don't know that that's etiquette. I think saying something shitty and getting away with it because you dressed it up all flowery is, like, the exact use case of ugly truth.
Okay, well then I'm fucking rolling ugly truth.
Yeah, that or ugly truth is two things. Ugly truth is I'm stating the truth and insulting you publicly and like making an ass of you. Like it's the prototypical jester skill of like this is how the jester gets one over on the noble folk. And the other use case for ugly truth is I have a gun and I'm gonna blow your fucking head off.
Right.
I think this might be. So, I mean, you can also do the etiquette thing of just like, oh, Father, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want to tell you how to live your life.
No. This is way better. Why have I not finished intimidation? I need to go find horrible people or bad people that I can be even worse to so I can feel slightly less bad about being horrible.
Sure.
I mean, I gave you a list of people to be bad to, so.
That's true.
I think ugly truth about your family is up to. There you go. I love that it's ugly truth about your family, ugly truth about your friends, ugly truth about a nuanced or complex political situation. So yeah, up to ugly truth to sass your brother.
Since it's up to, it's gonna be routine, so I'm not gonna bother. I think it's routine. So I'm not gonna bother.
I believe
forking
it will
anything
be.
in.
Well, so here's the thing: if it's already routine,
just stack it. Yeah. What do you see that pain? Total dice. Ugly truth is 4.
well, so you're
Routine
at
is
4,
1 or
but
2.
like routine.
Yeah.
So yeah, routine just goes 1 to X, and X goes up
Right.
as you increase the number of dice.
I mean, but I don't know that I'm forking anything in valuable, right? I'm just flat out saying the truth. So
Sure.
your modifier is obstacle 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
Yeah.
I just skin with my teeth.
He stops and like you hear like there's a crowd of people around him because there's always a crowd of people around your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he stops and like it's very much the Churchill thing of I like a man who grins when he fights. Right? He's like,
Right.
"Oh, good. A live one." And
Oh,
grins.
so, brother, it's I'm so relieved to know that your prettiness has not overburdened your ability to speak plainly and with haste.
And
Please continue to wait, choosing all your words slowly one at a time. I understand that it can be quite a chore.
and he goes and puts like both hands theatrically over his heart and he's, "Oh, my dear sister, you do wound me. Not only does Father trust me with words, he also trusts me with his refuse." And like the couple of people who were like, "Ooh, like she said a sassy thing to the sexy man," are now just like, "Ooh, the sexy man got her back."
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You got me, brother.
Well, and like the two of you look like good, right? Like you both look clever and sharp-witted and the thing, and like the fact that you got him first is not inconsequential. You drew first
Narrative,
like
or,
witticism blood. Yeah.
right.
So all he did was just like get back to parody. Yeah, and I think you kind of pissed him off, but like, good.
Yeah.
He says, "So, if you'll accompany me back to Father's manse," and like points, and I think there's actually like a horse-drawn carriage.
Okay. Wow.
Your dad's a prince, like not
yeah, I
a
know.
big one, but like
He's
I'm
like-
imagining like a county governor, like a
like-
viscount or something.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let's go do that. I just have to stop by the coat check so I can get my pistol and my sword.
Are you not wearing them now?
I thought it would be gauche to be okay. Well then,
This is a violent, prideful, traditionalist society, Michael, and there have been a
course.
rash of murders lately.
weird. How funny how that works. Yeah. Let's after you, dear brother.
So, just like putting the meta fiction hat on briefly, this is me trying to distract Margreta, and like if you think this is an interesting direction, I'm cool to chase this. This will probably blow up most of your beliefs. So if you'd rather
Right.
stay in the city, this is like not the way that you stay in this city.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know how long I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I thought it was fairly far away.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, once we're far enough ways, I will straight up ask him, is there's you're asking me to take weeks journey?
I think it's like probably a week there,
Right.
sort of thing.
Right. It's not. This is not a It's not a trivial call up, brother. For me to travel back to Father would require something other than to find out that I'm not interested in making another trip to court just to find out that oh no, I meant my other disgraced daughter and be
Right.
sent away.
Oh no, Margareta, this time, absolutely it is you. And, like, I think he looks down, like, tell me more about your pistol.
It is unfashionable amongst the noble because it is, it's like a serviceman's pistol,
Okay.
right? It's just going to be, it's serviceable. It's not ornate nor it's simply functional,
Okay.
and it's probably rifled, which would be unfashionable here as well.
Yeah. So is this not a family heirloom then?
No, I do not have valuable worldly possessions. I have
Okay.
just up from looted from the dead.
Yeah, he essentially somehow, through some network of spies, or at least Father has reason to believe that you have been, I don't want to say getting in over your head, but oh hell, I'll just put the cards on the table. Your father has a court wizard. Every so often, court wizard checks up on the kids. Because fuck privacy, there's divination.
Right.
Wizard witnessed you murder some people.
It's a good thing that wizards aren't admissible in court.
I mean,
They may be.
So to speak, I suppose.
right.
Because this is a court wizard.
Yes.
Do they have protection against non-magical missiles, though? Could you just go
Right. You've
The arcane veil can be breached by gunpowder weapons.
ooh.
That's Pillars of Eternity. That's the use case for guns in the fiction originally,
Yeah.
was wizards could put up like the arcane veil and a bullet sails straight through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because what level of prismatic sphere is that, right? Like that's
Yeah. Well, and like, I mean, an arrow is a fairly slow-moving projectile compared to a bullet.
It's the opposite of the Atreides shield stuff.
yeah.
I ate so much of Pillars of Eternity. It was delicious.
It's very
Um,
good.
Brother, you've done worse, and perhaps, or you have done worse in the past, or you have done as much in the past, and perhaps worse since you've been in the city. I know your tastes.
Margareta, it is not what that you have been doing. It is the manner in which you go about it. And he, like, stops and he's, like, sort of carefully considering his words. You do not act like a de Fabry. You are too direct. You are a blunt instrument where we, and, like, he's doing the thing where it's like, me and Dad are far more delicate, nuanced. It is simply gauche what you are doing, and Father wishes you to cease before his good name is tarnished by your actions.
Do the rest of the DeFabries carry a sword and pistol? Or am I the only one?
Oh no, they all do.
Okay,
I imagine most nobles do.
Right. So,
I also imagine your sword and pistol are like bulkier, heavier, and like the standard noble sword is a rapier, and like
right.
an ornate like flintlock or something for the pistol of this region.
As opposed to like a cut and thrust sword and something hewn from a block of iron.
Yeah.
So brother, we carry 2 sidearms for a purpose. If all you go for is the rapier, then you will lose when someone 6 paces away takes aim and shot and shoots you through the heart.
I do not get into positions where someone is within 6 paces of me, dear sister, because I act delicately and in ways such that cannot be traced back to myself or back to Father. And that, and like, he means the like, and trace back to Father, is the far more salient point.
Right.
Is this the point where you throw the flashback and the poison kicks in?
Is that I don't know. Is that how much stress do I need to spend for that? That sounds like a 6er.
It's definitely, yeah, like a 3 stress flashback, and then we'll have to actually do the roll. And...
Right. It's my better that I've poisoned myself instead.
Yeah. You've given him rage essence.
I'm a Hulk, son.
Yeah, but then he completely he just laid out all the reasons why he can never go rage essence him too, though.
Yep.
No, that would be excellent had I thought to poison him before we wandered off. But it's I have been cast out in disgrace, and Father wishes me not to bring
further disgrace.
Good name.
Yes.
That is patently absurd. I'm not going to win his good graces by frolicking off into the Elfie lands and arranging flowers. I will, when I bring this county to its knees and they beg upon me to cease my tender ministrations upon the noble folk. That is power. Am I playing a drunk with Huber's character well enough?
And so, your brother just like, if you think you can know further disgrace Father's name through your actions, dear sister.
I care little for Father and less for you, right? If you're going to cast me out in disgrace, then perhaps and then chide me for making my own way in the world, then
I feel like you're
reconsider.
I feel like you're trying to rile him up somewhat. Does that sound
let's do
fair?
that. Yeah.
I think riling him up and you're just like, listen, I've already been cast out. What the fuck else can they do to me? Actually, no. You've got him riled up. Your family. You don't need to roll the piss off family. That just happens. he like
But,
pause.
like-
He pauses the carriage.
No, here's the truth bomb for you, brother. You are always one misstep from the same exact fate. You are an unpopular doxy away from finding yourself not on Father's good graces, but on a what was the two fingers?
Just getting my camera to.
Oh yeah, all right. Not in Father's good graces anymore. A favored son, but another castaway looking to the western counties, hoping to eke out a living amongst the frontier.
He pauses the carriage, and like, you've seen him angry before. I don't know that you've ever seen him quite like this, and it's the slow, quiet rage. And says, "Sister, Father is so worried about the way you comport yourself and the way you carry the De Fabry name." And like stops. And he's considering what he's about to say very, he's going to have, I don't know what the name of the wizard, the court wizard is right now, but it's some wizard bullshit, right? He's going to have him strip you of your name. And like, what that means is like actually alter your true name so you are no longer a De Fabry.
Interesting.
It's a ritual that is seldom concluded, and requires your physical presence.
Right. That would. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going anywhere with you. God, what it was. I'm trying to remember the name of the court wizard in the Gunslinger series,
Oh fuck!
because that would be the perfect person.
Like do you mean the Man in Black?
Yeah. Is it
Randall Flagg.
Yeah, but the dude who was in Roland's court.
Oh. Shit.
Martin Broadcloak.
Broadcloak, yeah. The wizard Broadcloak.
Right, like that's the that fits into the
Yes.
puzzle pieces of this world very
Yeah.
nicely. Yes, brother, the carriage has already stopped. Let me save you the trouble of opening the door myself and letting myself out. If you think I'm going anywhere near you, anywhere near Father after telling me this, you're wrong, and you can tell him that if I see his wizard, I will open his third eye for him. In the center of his chest.
Right. And I don't know that your brother's going to try to, just go. Know that we offered you a way. And
Come back with his apology or not at all.
I shall return, sister. I bid you good eve. And, pulls shut the carriage and just...
Yeah.
And, yeah. He seems entirely not surprised. You see a smug look of satisfaction on his face.
Yeah. I mean, I am literally incapable of all of those things that I said, but that's fine.
He told Dad, I'll do it. I'll go out to Blast-Heath and I'll try to bring her back, but she's not going to come willingly. And so you have just proven him right, and he gets to go home and be like, yeah, I tried. She's fucking crazy. What did you expect?
cool.
I'm very pleased with how that ended, actually.
Yeah.
Because you've got like
it's
this.
generally. What's that?
I was gonna say you've got like this sword of Damocles just dangling over you.
Yeah. It's generally hard to hold on to power after a literal coup, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, and like,
Adam, you've got money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also just really like the idea that like Margreta hates her dad, and hates her brother, and probably hates the rest of her siblings, but is unwilling to part with her name.
I mean, that's the last thing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't got much else, really.
Right.
No land, no properties,
No money.
no money, no real skills.
When you're
Like,
burned,
I got skills, not like useful ones.
Margareta has potential.
I'm not a grapist, sure. Graper, what's the word we're looking for?
vintner.
Vintner. Look, man, a person who makes hats is called a milliner. None of this makes sense. They'd be a hattist.
No.
Hatterist?
Anyways. Cool.
Hatter.
Okay. So, Andiso, do you have a final scene? Do you have a way to take us out?
I mean, sure. Take us out.
Taking ourselves out.
Yeah, so I mean...
Actually, sorry. I just had a thing pop into my head. So we see Margreta, like, step out of the cab, that discussion. Brother, yaws the horse, travels one way, and then we just get this really long take, I imagine. Like, in the film, this would be, like, a 30-second shot of just Margreta alone on a road, walking the opposite direction. And it's just step after step, sort of thing. And I don't even... Yeah.
This is the point where we just poison the whole court, right?
I have to have bodyguards now, and I'm going to need to fund an entire miniature army. I don't do those things.
Mercenaries. No.
And they're not going to be... Shit.
Stupid, sexy brother.
Look, you should have done the safe thing and just like or taken someone else off them, I guess.
I know what happens when you do the safe thing. You wind up spending 3 sessions being deferential to your elders.
Instead of being mindwaved by a bog witch.
Mountain witch, thank you. There's not that much water uphill.
Fair. That's fair.
Okay. Sorry. Indisa, what's...
I mean, so...
Is this you dressing down Quail? For having sold the goods so cheap?
No, I don't think, like...
Okay.
I'm not gonna, like... I was gonna put it on Quail to get the thing done, but, like, I don't think that... Like,
Okay.
I know, and Iniso knows he would have he failed, so, like... The idea that Quail deserves yelled at is...
Okay.
No, I think the shot is, like... Indiso like... It's at night, right? The moon is out, full. I don't know whether the hunt's still going on or this is like the next night. Indiso's standing in, like, the sanctum has been mostly built up around him and has windows in the moon, right?
Sure. Yep.
And Indiso's standing at a table with, like, books on it, like, frantically flipping through them to try and make sense of the thing that he saw the night before, that he'd, like, pushed to the back of his mind.
Okay.
Um,
Where did you get those books, Indiso?
I don't know. Borrowed them.
Okay.
I probably borrowed them. I look as the wizened one of the mountain.
Yep.
Put at the bottom. is hoping to help me on my studies, right? So
Yeah.
I need like my remedial course materials so that I can work my way back into it. So that's what these are. Like I've gotten home. I'm still like mostly drunk, and I am looking through these, trying to look for like the signs of. And Zach does not remember much detail from the dream.
So it was sort of a twin vision of like the city being engulfed in flame and succumbing to chaos, and sort of a very I say human, but I mean like the like mannish chaos and hell, like a hell of mortal creation.
Okay.
And then to contrast that was the collective Three Tusks now being graced by the light of Pakun, and like I'm gonna rephrase it from last time because I'm not a huge fan of what it was before, but effectively like there's a small spark, like a little ember of glowing blessing, basically. And it's the sort of thing that's going to be need to be fed and nurtured and cared for, so it can grow into like a more thorough, complete thing.
Okay.
But also this ember has a sense of that rot in it. Like it has that orange, unholy, disquieting to you light, and like it's loathsome, and it's consuming, and it's destructive. And so sort of one of the things was like contrasting sort of like this very man-made or human-made version of hell that is being created, and like maybe the vineyard is going to seem like a relative paradise or easy pickings or respite from the city, but it's also, I said, going to hell along just a different axis, and this one is less human made and more divine.
Okay. Yeah, I would be attempting to divine some sort of actionable meaning from this.
Okay.
Cross-referencing the symbols in the book, and like, can I figure out what the best next course of action is
Okay. Sure.
to best use this information, whether it's like something I need to do for the grapery to cultivate that ember, or if it's, do I need to move immediately on staving off this incoming hell problem.
I also love that like you seem to be the person who's aware of the looming apocalypse. The old drunk who lives out in the woods and
Yep.
Well, that's perfect.
consorts with witches. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah, all of these people are having and hell is about to rain down, and I will be fleeing in a cart pulled by goats containing booze.
Yep. Okay, so symbology then?
I'm assuming symbology seems to be the obvious one here. I don't even really know if I have anything that properly forks into it for something like this. I think it's just a bare roll.
I mean, you don't have Pakun wise yet. So,
Nope.
So otherwise,
I've been relying on Moose for that. So
your I remember this from before. So common religious symbols are up to symbology.
okay, I can probably do that. Boom! Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
2 6s. Yeah.
What was that roll earlier? Jesus.
So what you get is like you do have multiple paths available to you. And I mean, you can learn more about the rot, because the longer that is left to fester and grow, I mean, the more it's going to... I don't know if Indiso is familiar with the word teleological, but I think he understands the concept that Pakun was one thing. Because the Mountain Witch showed you, he used to be other things, but has retroactively been changed to have been other things since the rot started getting to him. So, the longer that goes on, the more the nature of Pakun changes. So, I mean...
As long as you don't take wine away, everything else is fine.
I think it's just, the fungus is going to get more and more emphasized, and... I mean, fuck it, you just succeeded on the roll. It will edit the way people behave with respect to Pakun.
Okay.
Those devoted to him. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. That's the barrel of the gun.
No, that's pretty strong. Pretty strong. Suddenly those bloody pit fights look a little different this time around.
Right.
Okay.
And it's, so far as you can tell, it's fairly nascent in its corruption.
And the witch was saying something about needing to burn it, or someone was saying something.
She said we I think we ended a scene on her saying we need to find a way to burn a god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's probably going in one of my beliefs soon.
Okay.
So I need to find a way to burn my savior or my patron god here.
Isn't that just fucking chunky? I love it. Sorry, I'm gonna stop getting high on my own supply now.
No.
Yeah, so I'm flipping these pages, or Indiso's flipping these pages.
Yeah.
Looking here, dropping a glass of wine, pouring another one while flipping with the other hand.
Yeah.
Frantically looking through all this to grab this information.
So yeah, you have a few different tacks. I mean, if you can forestall, I don't know that you alone can stop the chaos that's approaching Blast-Heath, but that would be a useful thing to do, just buying yourself more time.
Yeah, so I would so in my head, this is at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm flipping through this book, I'm drinking this wine, and I come to this realization. There's a moment where Indiso looks up from the table and pounds a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And turns and shouts into the darkness, "Get the cart!" And 3 goats zip out of the shadow. We must consult the old one.
Okay.
The old one mobile.
I mean, so you have her books. I was honestly going to just silently insert her into the back of that scene if you fucked up.
That's fine. Yeah, that's great.
So
yeah.
I imagine she doesn't leave. I think she's asleep in maybe some of the orc quarters nearby, in the bunkhouse.
I'll send the ghost to get her.
Well,
instead.
So she's asleep in the bunkhouse, and you get outside, and I think it's one of Quayle's closer companions. I don't know if Indiso would know their name. If you think Indiso would, then
I mean, are they gonna be rabbit or antelope or we've got a theme going here?
Right. No, it's yeah. I think it is probably rabbit, actually. And she just has a vaguely unhappy look on her face, and as you get a bit closer, you very quickly understand why, and it's because the Mountain Witch snores a little bit, by which I mean a lot.
A lot.
So there's actually a small gaggle of very upset looking orcs who are unable to sleep right now due to very loud witch snores.
I am sorry, folks. When we finally get the bed put in the sanctum for her, we create the mother-in-law cabin out there for the Mountain Witch.
Yeah.
We'll all be rid of her, but fear not, I am about to awaken the snoring beast.
And like you just hear like well, I'm about to awaken the snoring beast, and it's like as you get those syllables out that you realize that like the snoring had stopped just a few seconds prior.
Ah, hello, wizened one. I require your aid. Come quickly.
And like I will tan your hide later for those comments, but now it sounds as though time is of the essence, and like extends like she's just woken up, so she's like slow, like she's moving a little slower than her normal spry self, and so she like demands that she like gets to put a hand in the crook of your elbow, and just like, all right, show me.
I will address these symbols, orcs that are awake. To bed, good folks. There's much work to be done in the morning.
And there's grumbling and yeah.
And then I will lead her up the hill, explaining what's going on.
Yeah.
I had a vision of hell and a small ember of hope and teleological change and all of these things. And I explained to her in a way that's like not impressive, but like demonstrative of some level of understanding. Right?
Yeah.
And then when we finally get to the sanctum, I turn to her as I sort of detach her so she can walk in. And we have to find a way to burn a god.
Yes. I mentioned that previously. What have you been doing?
Booze, mostly.
And she just like, yeah, and of course you have. That priest of yours, Moose, is it?
Yes, the young one.
How competent is he?
Relatively. He knows his way around a brawl pit.
Rouse. And she like stops and then's like tick 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 tick. Oh right, Pakun. Okay, yeah, that's. And then like looks at you and is like, oh, I have context for that black eye or something, right?
Yeah, like beat up. I imagine I was like wearing makeup or like mask or something for the party.
Yeah.
Because I'm all beat up.
Or it's like a bunch of like ghee burn or something, right? Like yeah. And she's go rouse him. There's work to be done, and yes, go. And
Again,
like
I turn to the darkness. Like goats, go and get moose.
yeah.
I'll take her on like I imagine like because it's the so there's like the shaft of moonlight coming in through the. There's like candles on the walls and like
I think she like snaps her fingers and the candlelight turns from like sort of a low reddy orange to just like a brighter white.
You will need to show me that trick later. But in the meantime, here is the information, the new knowledge that I have gained. And then I will lay out for her like my weird conspiracy theory level like book here, book here, book here. All of these connect, flip, flip, flip. All of that, showing my work.
Sure.
Wait.
She nods and like that's good. You like started to put together like a frame, but like the way she sees it, there need to be a few things. You need to find something like central and important and that could reasonably stand in for the body you're feeling, that the corpse of Pakun.
Okay.
And then you just need to set fire to that physical thing. And I mean, because these are beings that are like divine and they work in ways that aren't necessarily physical, if you can figure out some like metaphorical or metaphysical way of burning it.
I will think on this.
So I posed you a problem to which I personally didn't have a solution. Because I like doing that in role-playing games.
I'm thinking.
Right.
We will. There are possibilities here.
I've thought of a few since.
Well, I think we could sanctify the other vineyard and set fire to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one. It's absolutely a thing that could happen. But it sounds like that this thing is going to help drive some of your beliefs for next session.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be consulting with Moose and seeing if there's a way to fight Bakun, and then inserting fire where I would be.
Right.
Call it that.
Oh man. Sure. That's probably fine, right? Okay. Let's do end of session stuff. Magnus, your beliefs, instincts, and traits.
This is first.
I mean, I tried to do both belief 2 and 3. So trying to get security for the guild by corrupting town guard mercenaries. And I definitely tried to open negotiations with the nobles and failed miserably. And I'll probably have to change that belief because I'm going to have to do something else now.
I mean, you work towards both of them. So you definitely get fate for both of them.
Yes.
Did any of your instincts get you in trouble? I feel like there might be something in your instincts. Yeah. So, I wonder if next session we do the trait vote.
The what?
So traits change every so often in Burning Wheel, where essentially you can argue for a trait that you believe your character has acted towards, and you can argue towards traits that like you don't think belong on your character sheet. Like every so often Magnus is prideful, and every so often you debase the shit out of yourself, and like. Yeah. So I wonder if there's something like in there for one of your instincts, like about debasing yourself, and then at some point in time we should figure out when we want to do a trait vote. And
okay,
let's do it next session. Call dibs on violent.
You have it.
You already have violent.
I know. It's...
You want double violent.
So
extra violent.
For my thing though, but I think I failed both on prideful and self-satisfied. I think he thought his party was the shit, and it went to shit for him. So
okay,
those are the two that, for traits at least, I think they got me in trouble.
Sure. So for fate.
Yeah.
Cool. Lady Margreta, Agnesia, Luca, Pascalina, Bianca, Florentia, Marta, De Fabri.
I really gotta cut down that a little bit.
It doesn't fully display, like show players overrides it, and I just remembered that the last two were De Fabri.
Yeah. I don't know that I made any progress on fear as an effective mechanism of control.
Okay.
I did not use the corpse of Thomas Kurtzwallop in any meaningful way.
But you did make progress on getting your way into that usurper's court.
Yes. And I don't know about the sowing chaos, but it sure seems like it.
I mean, so here's the other thing here is, like, I don't know that you're turning their own rules against them, but you're at least turning their own families against them.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I'm amenable to fate for that one as well.
I have to change that from like turning trust around or something. I certainly built some networks, and I certainly didn't stop someone from getting closer to me, I guess. So
would you say those got you in trouble though?
Oh no.
I think the network building might have done, honestly, when you were just like, oh, I'll stand around here and talk to people.
That's true.
Cool. And then any of your traits get you in trouble?
I mean, pride, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you consider declining to have my name stripped from me from the court wizard.
Right?
Right.
I also
Plus
love
that
that that's a
would be better.
thing the nobles have developed, right?
Yeah.
The magical way to strip someone's true name from them. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing like 3 or 4 fate for you as well.
Sure.
Cool. Indiso.
All right. Well, I did not finish construction on the sanctum.
Okay.
Didn't even really deal with that a lot. I will make an impression on the upper crust of the Vide ability prestige.
Mm-hmm.
Did that.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, I re-impressed Ladrian with my wines. So I'm going to call that. I mean, I did the thing.
Yep.
Is that a persona point?
Yes.
Okay. And then my dreams have power. I will make. Sorry.
I was gonna say I feel like you might need them.
Yeah, probably. I will make someone who can do something about it aware of coming horror. I sort of did that. I mean, I'm assuming that the old lady can do something, but
And Moose, he's read in too now.
oh, okay, cool. So that would be Persona 2 then.
I imagine like there is a bit of Moose being like, wait, what's happening to my god?
What?
Right.
Tell me- We need to find a way to set him on fire.
Yeah, like that's I think like okay, Andrew who's watching this next Tuesday at work. We're starting the next session with Moose being like say that again. And probably some kind of like persuade or otherwise convincing Moose roll of like getting him to basically participate in this
Look, it's for the best.
endeavor.
I know
right.
we haven't invented chemotherapy yet, but
Great. Cool.
Okay, and then I will produce a. If none is, I produced a bunch of drinks, but it wasn't really that important or
No.
dangerous. I will look for occult signs and all things. I did that. I don't know that it got me in trouble.
Not really.
And I always follow my dreams. Again, did that.
I don't know
that
that-
it got me in trouble.
So the way like looking for occult signs and all things gets you in trouble is when you start like inspecting the decorations Ladrian put up and be like, how does this illusion spell work, right?
I've thought about that, and I haven't really done it because I didn't. Yeah. It also has gotten me in trouble where I like blew a roll and wound up tearing up a bunch of my
Yeah.
drapery.
Yep.
So I may have to like reword those to be more annoying, basically,
Sure.
so that they come up more often. None of my traits: patient, off-kilter, prideful, violent, traditionalist. I mean, off-kilter and prideful came up.
Yeah.
Didn't really change anything or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dreamer is not one of those. So yeah, that's me. I looks like I got 2 persona
Yep.
and nothing else.
Yep.
So yeah. Cool.
So you're up to 6 persona now.
Yes.
Soon you can breaketh the bonds of the whatever. Persona
I mean-
5 reference here.
One of these days, I'm going to have a gratiated vintner,
Yeah.
and then it's over for everyone.
Well, like you make wine that makes gods weep.
Mm-hmm. Assuming that like
burp.
yeah, I don't make wine out of the corpse of a rotting god,
Right.
Or something.
I'm super interested to see where that goes because I have no fucking clue. It's gonna be great.
It's going to involve a distillery and soaking the ground in grain alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Cool. Well, It is just about 3 hours. We've been That D&D Podcast. I'm still Andrew Otway. You can hit us up on social medias. We're place/That D&D Podcast, except Instagram, because we're not that cool. But
So like all we are is pictures of ourselves on. So
right. I mean, often moving pictures
true.
by Rush. It was one of their more seminal albums, and I'm just going to stop talking now because it's late and I'm on 5 hours of sleep. But we've been That D&D Podcast. Hit us up on social media. Come check us out because we're going to be streaming something on Thursday that I'm not personally involved in too directly.
We actually have 2 playtests this week. There's a playtest tomorrow for
Stand in Defiance?
Yes. I can't remember the name of the person who made it, but I can picture
Jason Tosharsky.
Yes. And then so that's tomorrow, same bat time. And then the
Thursday is more your playtest.
Thursday we have more of my playtest. I've got some for the crew to grab one of and then start raising hell, hopefully.
I just want to publicly praise you because you are making a game and we're playtesting it on our tabletop role-playing game podcast, and that's really cool. Let me know when you get out to the proper coast, and then I'll meet you in Seattle, and I'll get you to hug John Harper because he's a really nice guy.
That would be awesome. I'm trying to find my immediate future does not hold a.
Also, it sounds like for those of you who are nerds, there's the Shut Up and Sit Down Expo in Vancouver in October, I want to say.
Shucks.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's going to have a really rad group of people.
Does, yeah.
The Friends at the Table folk are going to be there. Loading Ready Run folk are going to be there. I don't think it's the full Friends at the Table cast, but it is definitely Austin Walker. I want to say Allie, and maybe also... I can't remember. I think it's 3 people. And then I believe John Harper's actually friends with the Shut Up and Sit Down folk now, too. So he might be in attendance as well. It seems like it's going to be cool, and I'm personally just, like, really considering getting tickets now. Like, it's... yeah.
It seems like a good time.
Yeah.
Seems like a good time.
So yeah, if
It's
you're
cool that
there...
this-
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's just cool that there's like these all of these ways now, or opportunities now.
Yeah.
For low-key cool people to like go meet up. That seems awesome. Because if I go to PAX, I'm probably not actually going to PAX.
Right.
But I want to like meet all the people who go to PAX.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
That weekend of Shucks is not only a camp out, it's also my 20th year high school reunion. So I'm like double booked already.
This is why you don't graduate from high school, Mike. You never have.
Yeah, it was a mistake. That's why I didn't graduate from college.
I have like 4 college reunions. It's bizarre. I get so much worthless mail. So much. Somehow they track me from state to state. I have no idea how they do it. Anyway, yeah, Thursday we will be playing my silly game that we're running on the stream channel that I participate in regularly. It's a little mind blowing. It should be a lot of fun. So
cool. So yeah, have a great night. And yeah, spread the word. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, folks.
yeah,
Night.
go get some sleep, internet.
And drink water. I don't know if you're
hydrate.
drinking enough water.
Hydrate.
Good night.